Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. Now listen, I want to have the discourse about Gear 5, man, because I'm kind of sick of the current discussion around it, and it's unfair on both sides, right? People saying they don't like Gear 5, I think is completely reasonable. Now I'm somebody that has defended Gear 5, right? But simultaneously, I feel like both sides of the argument are going extreme. One side can't accept any criticism of Gear 5, and the other side just criticizes everything about Gear 5. And really, there's a fine line, there's a fine balance here where you can say, I don't like Gear 5 because for me, it takes away some tension. But the tension argument for me, where it kind of breaks down, is Luffy so far in Egghead Island has failed. He was supposed to protect Vegapunk. He failed. Right? That was his job, was to stop Kizaru from killing Vegapunk. Kizaru killed Vegapunk. Do you know one of the reasons why Kizaru is allowed to just lay there on the floor, relax right now? Because his mission was to kill Vegapunk, and he accomplished his mission. The Gorosei are not going to be angry at him, right? Fighting the strongest, one of the strongest Yonko. Luffy Gear 5 is so OP, he's fighting all the Gorosei, and yet he failed to protect Vegapunk. So I don't understand how there's no tension if he failed. People are acting like Luffy has succeeded in Egghead Island, but Luffy is completely failing in Egghead Island. I don't know if you understand this, right? He hasn't done anything he set out to do. So again, I really don't understand the no tension argument. Now, on the other hand, listen, somebody can say it's goofy. Somebody can say it takes away from some of the serious fights, like the Katakuri fight. Even though Katakuri, those funny moments in it, every punch and every attack wasn't, cartoonish or whatever. Now, people should have been aware that that's gonna be the case, right? Oda has always been a kind of goofy writer in terms of like he doesn't like things to get too serious. He'll have serious moments. Like we literally just had Kuma's flashback. Like that was the most serious shit ever, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just had that. Like we had that serious, crazy ass shit. And now the fight is serious too because Vegapunk just died. Like what do we like this is the problem. What are we doing here? Like, and I'm listen, guys, listen, I'll criticize anybody. I'll criticize Kishimoto, I'll criticize Oda. I don't care, bro. I'll criticize my goddamn self. I'll criticize JJK and like I criticize anything. Like if there's fair criticism to be given, I'll give it. Like I don't really give a shit about the fandom giving out to me, whatever. I'll tell it how it is. But come on, guys, we gotta be real here. We gotta be honest. We gotta be truthful here, guys. You know what I'm saying? What people are complaining about a lot of time is not real. Now, simultaneously, people have the right to not like Gear 5, bro. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like KCM, bro. Some people thought that like, the final transformation for Naruto should have been Sage Mode and he should have just powered that up. My favorite transformation that moved me ever is Sage Mode. Right? Everything else, KCM didn't move me. Like nothing else moved me, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you consider Sharingan Unlucky Mangekyu a transformation, then Obito's also moved me. You know what I'm saying? Gear 2 moved me. You know what I'm saying? Gear 2nd, that moved me. Against Rob Lucci the first time, that moved me. You know what I'm saying? Gear 5 moved me a little bit. It didn't move me that much because I expected it. You know what I'm saying? There was so many predictions. And I read it all in one go, one piece. So for me, everything was like laid right there for me. So it was easy for me to put the dots together. And I obviously, watched a bunch of videos while I was reading it and stuff like that. So I already kind of knew it was coming anyway. You know what I'm saying? Even before it was a thing. And there was also wasn't there like a thing in Japan that kind of spoiled it as well? But yeah, so there was a few things, So for me, it was like, yeah, Gear 5 was cool. It moved me, but I didn't really care for it that much. And I always thought it would be something comedic because, Laugh Tale is the end of the last island that they're going to go to and stuff like that. So there's just a lot of things that says that that's how it would have been. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I never had like this crazy expectation of it being something else. You know what I'm saying? To some people, that's completely the opposite, which is completely fine. Now, if we talk about Gear 5 negatively, Twitter just goes on this rampage. And they're like, oh, I don't like Gear 5 because no tension. Who has no idea what tension is. Like, I think that's a little bit unfair. Now, even though I defended it there when it comes to tension, I think what they mean is in fights, right? In fights, he's just winning, right? But that's the thing. Technically, Superman has no tension, is what people would say. But if you actually read a good Superman comic, it has so much tension because there's more to it than fights. And the thing is, it's a shonen, so everybody just cares about the fights because at the end of the day, that's what a shonen is, right? So if the fights aren't feeling peak, people have the right to criticize the fights. Do you get me? And this is where the disconnect happens because everybody is not fully comprehending the other side of the story. So people that are saying, I don't like Gear 5 because no change. People that are commenting like this guy right here, Sensei Suda, they're commenting because they're thinking narrative. But most of the people that are saying that Gear 5 lacks tension, they're not talking about narrative. They don't care about narrative. They're talking about when the left-right jab comes through, it doesn't feel intense. It doesn't feel like Luffy can die. It doesn't feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because literally Luffy died against Kaido, but Gear 5 brought him back to life, so can he even die? That's a question mark, right? Like somebody can reasonably ask. So this is the problem. This is where the dilemma comes in, and this is where the two sides of the narrative comes in, and this is why there's a disconnect between both sides of the argument. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people. Like, but people just don't, you know what I'm saying? People don't be listening. So that's why I wanted to do this video, just to explain that both of y'all are wrong. You know what I'm saying? People can't have the right to say they don't like Gear 5, bro, for whatever reason. It could be a feeble ass reason, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't like Naruto all the time, bro. People don't like, you know, Dragon Ball. People don't like stuff, but that's just, it is what it is, bro. Like, but, you know, as long as the reason is somewhat valid, I don't really think people should be going crazy as they are on Twitter. But people are going crazy on Twitter, man. If you type in Gear 5 at all, bro, all the conversation is people shitting on each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a guy that tweeted about it, and everybody's going crazy. Everybody's, like, eating him up, like, going absolutely zonkers, like, and people are like, oh, Zoro and Sanji fans are the reason why people are mad at Gear 5, but I just don't think that's true because, like, Zoro ate in Egghead, Zoro ate in Wano. Like, what are we doing? Like, I just don't really get it, to be honest. I think both sides are over exaggerating the circumstances and the situation. Gear 5 hate is forced. It's not forced. You cannot like something. Do you get me? Some people didn't like Luffy drinking the water thing, right? If they read One Piece recently. But if you grew up with One Piece, you might love that. Because you as a kid, you was at a certain age when you was reading it. And you grew up with it. So your reaction to it will have evolved over time. But some people also grew out of that type of thing and just don't like it anymore, bro. It just could be that simple. Does not mean they don't like the characters. It does not mean they don't like the story. It does not mean they don't like the manga. It just means that they don't like that aspect of it. And that's the thing. I didn't like KCM, bro. But Naruto's still like my #1 anime, bro. You know what I'm saying? In terms of favorites. I don't think it's the best one, but it's my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Despite me not liking KCM modes. Like, I didn't like, there's a lot of things I didn't like about Naruto. It doesn't really matter. Heck, Naruto isn't even my top 3 favorite character in his goddamn own show, bro. Still my favorite show. So I don't understand, like, you can dislike something and still love the actual thing as a whole. So people are acting like these people hate One Piece or don't understand One Piece just because they don't like Gear 5. I think that's completely disingenuous. All of y'all are being disingenuous. All of y'all being ridiculous. All of y'all being unfair. It's been your boy Supreme Cheer to God. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, leave a dislike. I don't really care. But do something. I'm out. Peace.